Hello, my gorgeous ladies. I'm going to do an intro since we've been chatting this entire time. But I want to welcome you to this 2/3-star diamond call on Monday morning. I hope all of you are having an amazing day, an amazing weekend, and you're really able to celebrate the ones that you loved yesterday with Father's Day. So with that being said, I do have Shannon, who is actually from Washington. She's a 2-star diamond, and I want her to tell you a little bit about her story, and then she's going to be talking about creating a contact management system. The reason why I love this call and this topic for Shannon is the most diligent when it comes to systems. And so it's going to be super, super cool for her to share her passion on this. And if you're looking for a way to get organized, to get everything, your ducks in a row, this is your opportunity. So please do take a lot of notes. But Shannon, I'm going to go ahead and open it up to you. And then the last 10 minutes, we'll take it as a question and answer, okay? But if you have a question in the meantime, please put it in the actual thread, the chat thread, so then that way you won't forget it, and then she can answer it either at that moment or later on. Sound good, girlfriend?
Sounds good.
Okay, I'll mute myself.
Hey guys, I'm Shannon. Just a little bit about me. I forgot about preparing for this part of it. I don't tell my story very often, which is bad. I know I should be. But let's see, I've actually been a coach since the doors opened, since right before the doors opened for the Beachbody coaching opportunity. I had been a previous gym rat. You know, I loved the gym, but I wasn't seeing great results anymore because I was just kind of bored. My husband saw P90X and he's like, babe, this is right down your alley. And I said, bring it on. And I started inviting people to join me, and, you know, I was starting to get great results. But anyway, I had a coach reach out to me, and I was in a different company at the time. I was doing isogenics and very into that company. And I tried to prospect my coach into that and then found out that Beachbody was a ground floor business opportunity also. And I was already passionate about fitness. I also, years and years ago, like 23 years ago, I was introduced to Amway and was introduced to the dream of having time freedom and financial freedom and not being on the hamster wheel of corporate America. And I held on to, I always had that in the back of my mind. They also introduced me to personal development. So I've done tons of personal development over the years, and it's really brought me through some really dark places. And but anyway, when I learned this was a business opportunity, I just went ahead and I jumped in. I had thought that isogenics was going to be the one that was going to get me my freedom, and I was working tons of hours. My husband was frustrated. I was trying, but I just wasn't making more than a couple $100 here and there with that. And but anyway, I jumped in with Beachbody and was able to replace my income enough to get home with my kids. I wanted to be, you know, I was the one that had always had the corporate job and the benefits for the family. And my husband was, you know, he's does self-employed with insurance, and he's not driven. He hates sales, yet he's in a commission-only job. But he was able to be there for the kids. He was the one that got to stay home when they were sick, go to the parent-teacher stuff. And one of my breaking points was one day, during Seafair Sunday or Seafair weekend, when the Blue Angels were here. There are these, you know, planes that fly over and everyone's out on their boats. It's a big party. And he was out Friday afternoon with the kids in the sun with our friends partying on the boat. And I was sitting in my office at work because I couldn't have the day off to be with my family. And I was just like, I was so mad. And I'm like, I got to make this work. And it was also around the time the movie The Secret came out. And that really helped shift my mind. But anyway, was able to replace my job, be home with my kids. And I've just been kind of a slow and steady coach. I've made Success Club every month since it started, except for one, and that was on purpose. I kind of gave it the finger and said, I'm not going to do Success Club this month, but I'm regretting that. But anyway, just slow and steady, but I've, you know, ready to take it to the next level. And one of the things, you know, that brings me to this call is one of the things that has held me back so much is systems, because my mind does think in systems, but it doesn't always come easily to me. And I tend to overthink things. And for me, even when I was doing the previous business, this business, I've never really had the whole contact management system dialed in. I've tried a lot of different ways, or sometimes it was pieces of different things. And so I never really had a good way. How about you guys? Does anyone else here struggle with managing their contacts and who they're talking to? Anybody? Crazy? Well, anyway, I've played around. I tried Asana, and I liked a lot of things about that, but I really liked the idea of having just a visual of everything kind of at a glance. I heard Teamsy's good. I haven't tried that, but and then I've seen the streak thing. I don't know. Anyway, I came up with a way to do it with Google Docs, which I feel like is highly duplicatable. I like it to be just on because it's on my phone or my computer. And I'm going to show you how I did this. And Brittany, I hope this is okay, but I actually have a recording that I had already made of this. And I think it might be easier just to click on that to walk through the whole thing, and then I can answer questions and go into it more from there. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay, can you guys, there we go. Can you see it? Everybody can see this? I created a document also that I'll be sharing with all you guys. So this one, I set it up so that a brand new person, it kind of has instructions here. And then it has some links to some helpful documents, like the Power of 3. It has a link to the video I made on how to use this. It has the memory jogger, the 5-step invitation process, and then another cool document I made that I think you'll really like, the Coach Success Cycle. But I am going to, if you click on this one right here, it would take you to the contact. So you guys, I'm going to put this on a little bit faster of a speed. So it's going to be talking kind of fast because it was a 20-minute video and I wanted it to be shorter, but you'll be able to understand it. So just, you can laugh at the chipmunk voice if you want. I just thought it would be a way to get through it faster.
Hi, this is Shannon Grella. I'm a Star Diamond.
Can you hear that okay?
And I wanted to share with you a way that I figured out to track your business, to track the people that you're talking to for your business, because your list is your business. If you are just randomly trying to remember everything or have Post-it notes all around, it ain't gonna work, sorry. But this business is all about helping people, and so we need to keep track of all that. The method that I'm going to show you is actually in Google Sheets, which is very cool because you can access it from any computer, you can access it from your phone, so you have it with you everywhere you go. And it's easy to update and sort and all that. And I just want to say that I know that this is the scariest part of the business, is talking to people, but it's the most important part. You can build all the fancy websites you want and do all the posting you want, but if you're not actually talking to people and moving them through the process, you're not going to see success. So just release the fear of whether they're saying yes or no, and just share from your heart and know that what we have to offer is something that can really help them. And don't worry about the no's. We're looking for people that are looking for us. We're looking for people who are looking for solutions. And so let's just share and not be fearful, okay? So here's the sheets. I started out with the Power Hour checklist, 6-figure success plan. This right here, I added this in the beginning, even though this is about contact lists. I added it because this is what you need to be doing each day, is adding people to your network, connecting and building relationships with people, adding value, inviting people to join us, following up, and then making sure you present the business 3 times a week. And we check in with our different groups, the back office, your personally sponsored coaches, posting 3 times a day. And of course your workout, Shakeology, personal development, and the National Wake Up Call and other team videos and training. So this is your checklist for success. When you go in for your Power Hour though, just remember that the people time is your most important time. So make that a priority. Of course you have to do everything else, but I find that I tend to slip in everything else throughout the day, but your Power Hour should be about your people, okay? And you can put down the names in each of these here. I did 5 in each category just to give you room. Some people do Power of 3 where they say 3 people each day in each category. It just depends on how fast you want to build your business. The more people you talk to, the faster you'll see success, okay? So the first sheet is, I call it Peeps to Help. And notice they put little hearts on it. I mean, you just have to remember that your come at this with love in your heart and caring and wanting to help. This isn't about trying to make a sale. So get rid of that icky feeling, that hesitation, and focus on how you can help people. Okay, so the first thing that I want people to do when they get this, and let's scroll these out of here, is just start adding names, you know, your brother, cousin, work friend, neighbor, whoever it is. Start adding everyone you can think of that you know. And actually up here at the top, I actually put a link. If you click that link, it'll open up a memory jogger to help you. So use the memory jogger, write down everything you know, go through your Facebook friends, write down everyone you know, people that are non-Beachbody coaches and not non-customers. You can prioritize them. You can put an A, B, or C. You know, put an A by the ones, you know, your best friend, you know, people that you really think are going to want to do this with you, whether it's get in shape or join you as a coach or however it is. So the next, I have a category right here for tracking where they are. So as you add people to your list, you can put added, you added them to your list, that's the first step. And then the next step is connecting, following up, and then I also have categories for people that said not now that you can follow up with later. A lot of these other categories right here, like the customer type, some of these aren't used yet, but I left them in because we're going to be moving people from one list to the other. See these tabs across the bottom? So anyway, I already built this up with some examples here. So you could, when you come to do your power hour, you can sort this A to Z. And like you can see the people that you've added. And then if you need to start connecting people, those are people that you can start connecting with. And then you can go to the people that you're already connecting with. And those are people that you can invite to a challenge or something. And then we have our follow-ups. I actually like to highlight mine in different colors. So like my follow-ups, I do hot pink, connecting, do it in a different color. And I would just leave the added clear. And then notice here that these say lead free, lead shake. These are if you're an Emerald and also Achieve Success Club, you get free leads from the customer, from the company. So what I like to do is as soon as they get free leads, is then move them into this people list. This can also be called a prospect. This is your prospect list. But I just like to call it Peeps to Help just because it feels better than prospect. But sometimes I'll highlight these a different color. The people that are your leads, because those people you still haven't connected with, so they're still like they're kind of new, even though they're connected to you as your coach, as you as their coach. So you can reach out to them, and I recommend, you know, like every couple of days for 4 times, or you know, maybe even once a week. But you might want to do it a little bit sooner than that and trying to connect. I usually send them a welcome email, and then I've been hearing more and more about people having success with actually texting them. So that's going to be my new process. But you can keep track in your notes here. So that's another thing. With each person that you add, you can add a little note, you know, on top here. But you can also, if you click in there, you can do insert note, where you can type more information and really keep track of what you're doing. And to make this easy for you, I actually have a note template up here that you copy and paste. And this one has recent, you know, like your recent conversations or what you've done recently. Here's as you learn about them, you can write things here. Once you know what programs they get, you know, whether they're a club membership, shake, notes. Anyway, but what you can do is you can just adopt that. There we go. You copy that and actually, so let's say I was going to paste it right here. You can paste. Now you have that. And you can type 50 grade, whatever. So anyway, these notes are huge. When I first thought of using, I first hesitated about using spreadsheets because I didn't think there was room to keep detailed enough notes. But you can keep tons of notes. You can even copy and paste full conversations from Facebook or whatever. Oh, and that leads me to something really cool. Okay, listen up, this is important. So when you are talking to someone, so let's take John Doe for an example here, and you're talking to him over on Facebook. Let's say this is John Doe's account right here where you've been chatting. You can go up and copy the URL, go over to your template, and you can do insert link and paste it. And now when you come back to follow up, you can just click that and it takes you straight to your conversation. How cool is that? I use this all the time. And what's also cool is that works for Instagram. I know many people build their business through Instagram. And I don't know if everyone knows that you can actually pull it up, even though you can't do that much through your web browser on your computer, but you can still pull up someone's account. Like here, I pulled up mine. So let's say this was the person I was talking to. I can copy that and go over and do the same thing where I insert the link. And then now when I go to talk to, and then on this person too, I probably would have said IG afterwards for Instagram. So I'll know that they're over on Instagram. But then when you click that, it'll take you right there to the page that I was just on. I don't want to waste more time. So that's really cool. So then, yeah, like I said, so each day you can come in here when you're ready to do, when you're doing your power hour, and you can add people to your list. You can go, you know, people that you're connecting with, following up with, keep notes on them. You can put the date that you want to follow up with them next, so you can always sort it, you know, and go, okay, who am I supposed to talk to today? So if you're good about putting those dates in for your follow-ups, this is great. Okay, so let's say Santa Claus here decided that he definitely wants to lose some belly fat and get on your challenge group. So he said, yes, he bought his program, challenge pack. We're going to copy him and move over to your current challengers. So here's where you can keep the people that are in your current challenge group. And you can just paste this here. Get rid of the highlight color. And then your categories here will change too. Now it has customer type. SC1, SC2, it tells you whether they have ordered a challenge pack, whether you've gotten success level points. So SC2 means you got 2 points from them. SC1 means you got 1 point. Free means that they're still a free customer. They may have already had a program. Maybe you just had them order the Shakeology sampler for right now, whatever it is. So that's where you can keep track of this, because you can only get success club points on people, you know, the maximum points is 2. So that's a good reference to be able to see at a glance when you're looking at who you're following up with. I also like to highlight when their next Shakeology order is going to come out. You know, when someone orders a challenge pack, I immediately add that next Shakeology HD date so that as I'm checking in with them, I'll know when that date is so that I can make sure, one, it's not going to surprise them, find out how they're liking their Shakeology, and see if they want to upgrade to a coach account before that order hits. You know, those are great people to possibly have join your team. Let's see, what else is I going to do also? Just a second, I'm checking my list to make sure I don't forget anything. And so with your challengers, you want to make sure, in addition to having them in your challenge groups, that you also check in with them weekly. So what I do is I put on my calendar, there's a time block, you know, once a week that pops up that reminds me, okay, this is the day that you check in with your challengers. So that's a good way to do it also, just to have that so you don't forget about it. You want to stay in contact with them. They aren't always checking in with your group. So then once they become, if someone becomes a coaches, so now I have a coach tab. And I would copy this from here to here over from the other group, you know, from the previous list that has, you know, the priority, the notes, and the dates of the last contacts and all that. You can copy that part over, but the rest is all new and unique to your coaches. What I do, and if you look way over here to the right, what I do each time I get a new coach is I go to my online office and I open up my personally sponsored report and I export it as an Excel, and then I copy and paste it here. This way you have their screen name, their coach ID number. All of this information is very helpful because a lot of times your new coach isn't going to know those things, and you can easily go grab it. Or if you need to talk to coach relations about something, it's an easy place to have it and also to access all their information without having to go look it up every time. And this category right here too, CBC leg. CBC stands for Coach Business Center. For those of us that have multiple business centers, once you're a 2-star, you could get a second business center. Most of us sponsor our spouse, so that's another business center. When my son turned 18, I threw him in there for another business center. So that category right there is so helpful in keeping track of who is in which business center. That way you don't have to go searching for them and opening up all your different Beachbody accounts each time, and it also helps you when you're working on strategy for your goals. I also put the year that they sign up with you, because if you're going for elite, the people that you signed up last year and the current year are the people that help you get points for that. So that's good to know. I like to highlight things in red if I'm just to bring attention to it, like let's say towards the end of each month or halfway through the month, you want to start assessing where your coaches are success club point wise. So you can put how many points they have and put in your notes that you want to reach out and help them get to success club 5, or if you have people shooting for diamond, you can do that. Anyway, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but here's a category where, once you sign people up, just kind of like a checklist. Did you send them a welcome email? Did you add them and welcome them to your groups and publicly? Did you create a page on them? You could either just use your notes right here in this document to keep track of everything, or you could do an Evernote document on each of your coaches, or you can have it in a notebook, however it is that you want to track. Did they fill out their About Me form or About You form, whatever you call it? A lot of coaches are using that to get to know their coaches' goals and all that. Did you do a GSR call? Did you help them do the I'm a Coach post? Did you help them make a list and choose 20 to invite and to find 3 for their upcoming challenge? So that's kind of a good checklist to get people started. You can revise this to whatever works for you and the system that you're using for your team, but this is a good starting point. So here's another tab, customers connected. This is one I didn't fill anything in here, but this is one where once your customer has been in a challenge group, or once you've connected with them, whether you've been emailing or they've joined you on Facebook, but they're no longer in a challenge group or not currently in a challenge group, this is where you can just add them for ongoing support. Again, this is going to be really helpful, this category that tells whether or not you've gotten success club points or whether they're just a free customer, so that you can always go back to this list and try to re-engage people. You can have potential coaches, I would why if they're a potential coach. So anyway, you keep track of them, check back in, you never know. And then here's one for all of your customers. Now, especially for those of us getting customer leads, through customer lead program, I schedule once a week to go in a perfect world. I don't always do it perfectly, but once a week to go in and run a report that shows all your customers for the last week, export it, copy them into here. Now you have their customer ID and all their information at a glance, and again, writing down which business center they're in. This has helped me so many times because I have so many of my customers on Facebook, and then rather than trying to open up, I have my own 2 business centers, my husband, my 18-year-old son. Instead of trying to open up all those to figure out where they are, I can just come here to the list, and I have written down which business center they're in. And no. So this is more of a catch-all for my customers. I don't really use this as an interactive document. George reached out to you, and you know that he's a customer, but you don't know where. You can use the find and replace function. Type in George, all sheet, and do find, and there's George Lopez right there. But you can keep clicking find, and it'll go through the rest of the document and find all of them with that name. And like I said before, when I do first bring in all my new customers here, if they're people that are through the customer lead program, I just grab their name and any information, and I take them back over here to the Peeps doc. And struggling here. So like these right here were leads. I can add them in here and start notes on them. You can look at what they ordered if you can find that and all that. So anyway, that's just my system, and it all boils back to this power hour checklist. But by having this checklist here and the people you're talking to, and each of these lists, you have a place to go each day. So each day when you go to do your contacts and follow-ups, you just pull up the sheet and you know exactly what you're doing without aimlessly going to Facebook trying to search through your messages or whatever it is. And each time I do message with someone, I come back and I update the last action date and I update notes to let me know. And like I mentioned earlier, I always have them linked, so it's easy just to link right back to the Facebook conversation. Okay? I hope that helps. Let me double check if there was anything else. No, I hope that helps, and I will post the link to this blank template. So
okay, guys. Could you hear that okay? In my little fast chipmunk voice?
It was perfect.
Okay. So that's kind of in a nutshell, a big nutshell, what my system is. I know it kind of seems complicated, but for just I plan to do a different recording that's more geared just towards the beginner, but that one actually was geared more towards coaches like us that are managing a lot more people and business centers and all that. So any questions or?
Shannon, will you take it off your screen share?
Yeah. There.
Okay. So what questions do you ladies have? Because this is something that absolutely is beyond duplicatable, and that's what I love that you put with that. But what are your questions, ladies?
I don't have any questions, but I did want to, it's a great system. I'm all about systems and duplicating too. So big on systems in Excel. So I have something similar, but not as good as that. I need to get better with color coding, and I agree with what she was saying. Like, it helps you go back and see what your last action was, and you're not aimlessly just going through your Facebook messages and thinking, you know, I love the paper tracking as well. Like, to me that works, but what if something happens to my papers? I don't know. Like, I always think, so I have that Excel spreadsheet as backup with the little tabs at the bottom. Like, you know, I really like it. I was looking at that, I'm like, that's good. That's really good. So I need to go back and, you know, make it as good as yours and get better at that. But I think that's why having these calls really is helpful, to help us see where we can actually take, you know, grow from this. So thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome. I'll share I have a document and everything, so I'll share all that with you guys, and you can make a copy and make it your own, you know.
Right.
Make it work for you, you know.
Right. And I think that's where I'm like, right now you mentioned sharing the link. I think I just can take my stuff and start pasting and then adding my leads in there. That I don't have a track of, a lead, like the lead section.
Yeah, and this, I've been trying to use this for a while, and it was always such a struggle because each customer has so many different places they could be in your list. I mean, it's just so confusing to keep track of it all, and then to try to copy from place to place. At first I was trying to have them all in one, but it just got to be too much. So then I did want to kind of separate them out, but I had to make it so that the amount of rows, you know, columns matched up so that you could copy and paste it from one to another. Yet some of the titles change a little bit. So it just finally kind of came together. I'm still haven't completely gone into gear cranking with it, but I was excited to get that together to share with the team, and I just keep updating it. As people add me on Facebook, I go straight there and I add their name. And, you know, the other day I'm going to a big event in October locally with a bunch of power women. And so I started going through that event list the other day, friending everyone, or friending several people and starting conversations. So I threw them on the list, you know.
Awesome.
It's just great to have
How much time did it take you to create this?
Oh my God, I don't know. It's been over a long process. I've spent a lot of time on that, a lot.
You can absolutely tell. So I would definitely say for all of you ladies, where she's going to be able to share this is an awesome system. Paper is great, but you'll never go back to your paper. And that's the hardest thing. So I love the fact that you can get this on your phone or wherever you're at, so you're always staying connected. The most beautiful thing that you had on there was obviously their next HD order, so you can let your customer, your challenger, your coach, whoever it is, you know about that. But everything really portrayed so great together. So I'm very proud of what you did, Shannon. Thank you for so much. You're welcome. So is there any last questions on this? Did you find this very informational? Did you find it something that you'll definitely be able to duplicate or give to your team? If you have a great tracking system, awesome. But if your team doesn't, this is something great to absolutely hand down to them and show them how to get started with it.
You guys, wait till you see. Make sure you click on the docs, or maybe I should show it right now, but I know we're almost out of time. I made a one-page success cycle page. Do I have a minute just to show it?
Absolutely.
I love this thing. Just a minute. Wait, where did it go? Coach success cycle. You know, just from, I've been studying all the top coaches like for the last couple of years, just going, what is this? What is the common thing? What is it that's working? But this just breaks it down, I think, on a one page for the new coach. You know, you want to work on attracting, with your personal development, your mindset, be a product of the product, so posting on social media, connecting and building new relationships, inviting people, always having a challenge group, and using a monthly calendar. I don't know about this particular order. I tried to kind of pull people. I'm open to changing that right there, but at least it's a guideline to show, go by a plan. And then this Success Club cycle, I took this, I recreated this from, what's her name? She did a great presentation at the leadership thing, Bonnie Engel. Is that right? And she had this, something similar to this Success Club cycle here, which I just thought was just the foundation, just the key.
Are you sharing this here?
Yeah, that there's a link to this on the first page of that Google Doc.
I saw it. Okay. Yes.
So
I love that.
That is money. That right there is money.
Yes, it is. I think I'm switching my team call theme. Because that's what coaches need, a template. And I mean, we have one, but I don't, that's nice.
thank you.
My eyes just went.
I know. My brain constantly tries to organize things like that, but it also paralyzes me a lot because I'm trying to get everything sorted. But when it comes together, I was just like, oh.
That was me right now. Thank you for sharing that. It's our OCD, I think, with organization, and there's just so much information, and it's like, no, just do these basic things and duplicate.
If anyone has scripts they can share with me, that's where I am just floundering. So
okay, I have some. Okay,
that's awesome.
What kind of scripts? Like any scripts, like to post or to?
Anything, but basically the conversations back and forth. I've tended to do it very organically without using scripts, and so it's making it hard to duplicate myself. So I'm trying to come up with better scripting.
I love it. Share it in the group.
Will do.
Hey, Shannon, thank you so much. What a great presentation. Thank you for sharing that. If you want more information, obviously I'm going to repost this, or you can go find it on Shannon's, obviously on her YouTube. So with that being said, though, thank you so much for taking the time. It was a beautiful thing. Love everything about it. We can't wait to check it out and print that actually for us. We're like, yes, that's awesome. That's money. So anyways, thank you, ladies, for staying on today and really listening to all these amazing nuggets. So have an amazing day, and we'll talk to you next week, okay?
Bye, ladies. Have a good one.
You too.
Oh, wait, I want to get a picture. Wait.
Okay, not canceling. Ready, go.
Okay, just a second. Okay, ready?